Hello and welcome back everybody, my name is LittleCornDoggs and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to make a motorcycle. So let's get started. Okay, so of course we're going to start off with a seat. Now I'm not going to do the motorcycle seat just because odd width always confuses me quite a bit. Anyways, go-kart seat it is. So basically let's just build around this thing. I'm going more for a street bike kind of feel. I did have a motorcycle at one point, so I'm going to try and recreate that one in here today. Maybe not the same color, maybe I'm going to make it all black because I've always wanted an all black motorcycle. So let's go ahead and keep building. But from the looks of it, as you guys could tell, it's going to be more of a street bike kind of a build. And then, of course, it's going to be self-riding, self-stabilizer, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, super fun, super cool. I think you guys are definitely going to like this motorcycle. And for those of you who are very, very new when it comes to self-riding anything in this game, be very excited because it's going to make your builds a whole lot better. The second that you start adding some self-riding stuff is the second that your builds get way more complex and you could do a whole lot of cool stuff with it. So, as always, let's just keep on building and let's flip. Oh, I had it right. There we go. Like that. So let's do 3x1. But this bike is going to look a little bit chubby, but the most compact you could probably get it. So let's get the engine in there. Where is that at? Why can't I remember? There we go. Something like that. And we'll flip this guy around just right there because at some point, we're going to need a helicopter engine, and we don't want it to be in contact with anything. So, let's go ahead and add some of these guys here. Now, we're going to want this motorcycle to have somewhat of an angle when it comes to the, I was going to say landing gear, when it comes to the wheels and the whole suspension and everything like that. If you want suspension, you can add it. Me personally, I do not really add suspension on motorcycles because it's already quite complex as it is. So, here we go. Then this is a distance sensor. So you want to connect the distance sensor to these guys here, the little steering hinge, invert it, put it to 0. Now I have done this in the past in some other tutorials. Again, it makes your builds just a little bit more complex than just strictly, you know, a turning hinge onto a wheel. But let's go ahead and move on with that so we can actually connect the wheels fully. Now, usually what I recommend is having somewhat of a steering hinge on the end so you can actually turn the wheel. But because this is a motorcycle, we're not going to really need that. We could actually just put a helicopter engine on the bottom here and it should work out just fine. But I guess we'll see. So there's that. We'll move this in and we will copy this guy on that side like so. So to go ahead and test out and make sure that the hinge is going the right way and the right angle and all that, we're gonna actually go ahead and go here. Let's turn off our controls from the seat. Let's do like a 45, maybe let's just do a 50. Okay, let's click B. So as you can see, now that wheel is kind of stuck on that fixed position there. And then when we turn, because we disabled the turning controls, they're not going to turn. So that's perfect. Starting to look like a motorcycle already, so that's great. All right, moving on to the back end, it's literally the same exact thing. So let's just copy these guys, this, there we go, and copy it there. Now the problem that you might be having if this back end isn't working is you'll probably have to flip those so they're going the right way and then connect this guy onto those. Oh, look at that. They're already connected. Less work for me, so that's good. And I'm going to actually change the angle on this. I'm going to probably do like 10 because the front wheel of a motorcycle is always at a sharper angle than the back wheel. So it's going to look a little bit like a dragster bike, but I'm totally fine with that. And you know what? Now that I'm actually looking at it, I think what I'll have to do is probably lower it like that. All right, let me just add that there, and there we go. Look at that. It's looking like a motorcycle for sure, man. All right, let's go ahead and test this. So, of course, it's tipping over, but look at that. It looks like the shape that we want a motorcycle to be at, so that's great. So here's the complex part of these builds here is where we actually have to gut out some of the parts, and sadly things are going to be free floating for the meantime, but that's okay. What you want to do is bring out this angle sensor. This is, like I said, more complex here. We just want to go to settings, You want to go to direction and do 90. And then here we'll do like 175, and that's the angle. So as you can see, the blue is now almost perfectly straight. You want it to have some little bit of a tilt when it comes to leaning, but nothing super sharp because it's just going to be shaking and glitching everywhere if you do that. So let's go ahead and go like that. We will put this in the back end here. There we go. Now everything's reattached. Now we're going to go here and we're just going to copy it. But of course, if we just copy it the same exact way, it's only going to be fixed on that position. So let's flip it like that. So it's going the opposite, and we'll put it over here. Now let's go to the helicopter engine. I'm not going to do anything crazy like the crazy stackable super heavy helicopter engine. That's just a little bit too much. But I'm just going to put this helicopter engine right there inside. So as you can see, it's connected to the walls, but this backside here isn't connected to this block. So this little bottom piece of the helicopter engine is actually going to be spinning. So there shouldn't be any friction, but I guess we will see. But now that we're here, let's connect that angle sensor to the helicopter engine. This one to the helicopter engine. Let's turn off the controls on the helicopter engine. Okay, and then instead of actually making this one a negative, I mean make this one a positive and this one a negative. And other than that, we should just add the turning on the bottom. There we go, like that. D and A for controls, and boom! We got ourselves a motorcycle, look at that. Alright, well I'm gonna paint this thing up and I will be right back. Alright you guys, well we have the motorcycle here all painted up. As you can see, it looks amazing, it looks super cool. A little chubby, a little sea sausage like, but whoa, oh my gosh. Let's do a little spin move here. Oh, okay, I got kicked out of the seat because I hit my head, but yeah, super cool. This thing works really awesome. It's super fun to drive around. Like I said earlier, it has a self-leveling system in it, as you guys could probably tell. But yeah, it's really cool. You don't have to worry about flipping over at all. You can just go over jumps or, you know, I don't know, crash into friends, whatever you want, and you're fine. It's really stable. It's really strong. So nothing's touching on the ground, which is nice. The helicopter engine's just like maybe an inch off of the ground, but other than that, it's a pretty great motorcycle. Well, that is it for today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to see anything else, make sure to comment it down below, and I will try and make a tutorial on it as soon as possible. As always, my name's LittleCornDoggs, and I will see you guys in the next one.